Staying motivated every day isn't about waking up with fire in your chest or hearing some divine whisper that tells you today will finally be different. I've learned that the hard way. In fact, there were moments in my life when I used to sit on the edge of my bed every morning and wait for motivation to knock on the door like some loyal friend. But it never came. It's funny how many people do the same, scrolling through inspirational videos, saving quotes, expecting that a stranger's energy will somehow spark their own. It never lasts. And the truth is simple, motivation doesn't arrive, it's built. It's created by what you do long before you feel ready. Many people won't like hearing this, but motivation is rarely emotional, it's mechanical. You build it or you don't. I used to believe that chaos was normal. That waking up with no plan, hoping things somehow work out, was just part of being human. But that mindset almost ruined years of my life. I remember one day in particular, I woke up feeling heavy, annoyed at myself, irritated by the world for absolutely no reason. I opened my phone, scrolled through the achievements of others, and within minutes convinced myself that everyone was moving forward except me. And here comes the philosophical punch. Nothing actually happened that morning. The world didn't attack me. Nothing tragic occurred. It was my own lack of direction that made everything feel like judgment. When you don't know where you're going, every step feels wrong. That's when I realized, motivation isn't about feeling good, it's about avoiding the emptiness of drifting. There's something strange about people, we love to complain about lack of motivation while doing everything possible to stay in the same place. We binge content about starting tomorrow, we buy planners we never use, we celebrate ideas we never act on. And then we get offended by the success of others. I don't say this to judge harshly, but because I've been that person. And the moment I stopped lying to myself was the moment things began shifting. Most people don't fail because they're incapable, they fail because they are addicted to comfort. They protect their comfort like it's some precious treasure, but forget that comfort never built anything meaningful. So if I sound critical, good. Sometimes the truth needs to sting a little to wake you up. One tiny habit changed everything for me. I'm not going to pretend it's glamorous. It's not sexy. It's not impressive. But it works. Every morning, before touching my phone, before thinking about how I feel, I do one small action that moves me forward. It might be writing a single sentence, doing a short stretch, reading one page, planning one task. The action doesn't matter, the consistency does. It's a psychological trick that pushes your mind into motion even when your emotions refuse to cooperate. When you accomplish something small right away, your brain gets a hit of momentum, and momentum is more valuable than motivation ever will be. Momentum ignores emotions. Once you're moving, you'll keep going simply because you already started. I wasn't always the kind of person who could stay consistent. For years, I chased big goals with short bursts of energy. I'd get inspired, start aggressively, burn out, disappear, and then shame myself for failing. It was a cycle that felt impossible to break. One evening, after failing yet another goal I had loudly promised myself to achieve, I sat alone in my room feeling powerless. And then something clicked. I realized I wasn't failing because I lacked ambition, I was failing because I had zero structure. I relied on adrenaline instead of discipline. I waited for passion instead of creating systems. Motivation is unreliable, systems are loyal. That was the moment I stopped chasing intensity and started building consistency. Let me share a story about a man I once met at a small coffee shop. He was in his late 50s, calm, collected, sipping tea while reading a book. I asked him what he did for a living, and he told me he was a writer, nothing unusual. But when I asked him how he managed to write for 30 years without giving up, he said something that stuck with me forever: I don't rely on motivation. I rely on identity. Writers write. Builders build. Learners learn. If you decide who you are, actions follow automatically. That single sentence taught me more than any motivational book ever did. If you see yourself as someone who needs motivation, you'll wait. If you see yourself as someone who acts, you'll move. Here's another subtle truth most people ignore: motivation grows when your environment supports your future, not your past. If your room, your desk, your habits, your circle of friends all reflect who you used to be, you will unconsciously fight against your own progress. That's why so many people take one step forward and two steps back. Their surroundings pull them into old patterns. I had to change mine. I stopped spending time with people whose favorite hobby was complaining. I cleaned my space, removed distractions, stopped tolerating chaos. Your environment is the silent architect of your behavior. It shapes you without asking permission. Change the environment, and your motivation naturally shifts. People often ask me for life hacks, expecting some magical shortcut, but the truth is both simpler and harder. Your life changes the moment you stop negotiating with your excuses. Every excuse sounds reasonable in the moment: I'm tired, it's not the right time, I'll start next week. But excuses always promise comfort and deliver regret. The more you listen to them, the weaker you become. One hack that helped me was imagining my future self watching me. Not in a dramatic, cinematic way, but realistically. Would future me be proud of the choice I'm about to make? Or embarrassed? This simple mental shift kept me from abandoning my responsibilities more times than I can count. Let me tell you about the day I realized discipline is a form of self-respect. I had plans to work on a project that meant a lot to me, but I chose to waste the entire day doing nothing. At night, I stared at the ceiling, feeling that familiar heaviness, the weight of avoiding your own potential. And then it hit me: how can I expect confidence, success, or self-worth if I constantly break promises to myself? Each time you avoid your responsibilities, you teach your brain that your word means nothing. But each time you follow through, even with something small, you rebuild trust with yourself. Motivation grows from that trust, not from hype. Over the years, I've learned that the people who stay motivated are not necessarily the strongest or smartest. They're simply the ones who refuse to disconnect from their purpose. They fall, they fail, they stumble, but they return again and again because they know consistency is more valuable than perfection. The world respects results, not excuses. And when you understand that life rewards action, everything becomes more straightforward. Not easier, but clearer. If there's one message I want you to take from everything I've said, it's this: motivation is a side effect, not a starting point. It's the natural result of showing up for yourself repeatedly. It's the psychological reward you earn by doing the hard things even on the days you don't want to. And most importantly, it's something you grow through habits, stories you tell yourself, environments you build, and identities you choose to live. So the next time you wake up feeling unmotivated, don't ask yourself, how do I feel? Ask, what's my one small action today? Because one action creates movement, movement creates clarity, clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates motivation. And that cycle, once it begins, can carry you further than any burst of inspiration ever could.